All right, welcome to Cybertech and Risk Talk. Today we are very honored to have Jeff McGrath from RBC, and Jeff is the director of CIAM at RBC. Jeff, very nice to see you.
Thank you for having me, Brian.
So at the beginning, can you quickly introduce yourself and who you are, what you do?
Certainly, Jeff McGrath, Director of Customer Identity and Access Management at Royal Bank. I've been with the bank now for just over 6 months, so relatively new. Responsibilities of the bank really is to, oversee and execute the Customer Identity and Access Management strategy at Royal Bank. So that entails developing partnerships, working with both business and technology leaders to be able to, develop innovative and effective solutions to secure customer identities, and also to be able to create and define, really interactive, effective user interactions as well to over 16 million users.
Wonderful. RBC definitely is a very large organization.
It's
so
definitely
IAM is definitely a very critical piece for the whole, not only IT, but the whole infrastructure.
It is too, and I think that people kind of get confused, or they get focused on the retail banking aspect of things as well. So when they think of customer identity access management, they're thinking of, a client getting their retail banking information via the mobile channel or via web. But there's really much more, right? There's a wealth channel here, right? There's a capital markets channel here that we need to integrate with and communicate with our clients, right? There's insurance, right? There's investor services, right? So there's multifacets and multiple different lines of business here that we're trying to be able to service.
All right. So, but I am across all those domains.
That's correct.
Right.
So my job is to try to find some commonality, right? To be able to create some common, some shared services and ways to approach identity that kind of transcends and cuts through those different lines of business.
Oh, okay. So in a way, you have a holistic view of all the things, right?
That's what we're trying to develop, yes.
Okay,
absolutely.
wonderful. And speaking of today's topic, CIAM, so it's IAM, but it's a custom identity and access management.
That's right.
So can you give us some insights about this area?
Sure. So I think that when people think about identity and access management, they're thinking about an enterprise-specific approach, right? You have a specific, amount of users, right? A canned amount of users.
Right.
Your employees, your contractors. You're trying to onboard them. There's a specific focus, typical focus on security and compliance, right? Regulatory compliance, what have you. Customer is a little bit different, right? Also, the enterprise, you're not necessarily worried about that interaction, right? They don't have a lot of choice there, right? You're not trying to give them choice. You're trying to be able to service the specific use case and requirements. Customer is a little bit different.
Right.
So now you're moving outside. Customers do have choice. Right.
It's
Customers do
external,
have choice, so you need to make sure that you're providing really innovative and effective ways to interact with them, right? To be not only give them what they want, but be able to grow that business too.
Right.
You also need to be able to do it at scale.
Yes.
Right? So where you have thousands or hundred thousands of users in an enterprise IAM type of scenario, you're talking about potentially millions of users here, right? So you need to be able to meet those requirements, but be able to scale them up as well. And the last point is you need to give them choice, right? You can't just say a one size fits all, because there's lots of choice for them to go somewhere else, right? So if you provide choices, whether that be in how they get their data, how they provide the data, how they interact with that data with their consent, what have you, as well as the ways that they want to interact with the bank, whether it be the channel that they want to be able to use, or multiple channels, as well as the authentication factors that they want to use, right? So you say, listen, I want to use a biometric, but no, I'd rather use this particular multi-factor, et cetera, right? So you need to be able to provide that choice to be able to really, develop that brand loyalty and customer loyalty.
So in a way, you need to serve your customer.
Absolutely.
Right. So you have to listen to them. Not like a lot of times when you're internal. So you pretty much put in some guidance, like a governance. But to your customer, you have to serve them. Right?
Absolutely. So those are your masters as well. Right. Obviously, being in FI, being financial industry, you have your regulatory masters, right? Your risk and compliance. Right. But you also have your customer that you need to serve.
Wonderful. So that's a very uniqueness of CIAM.
Absolutely.
Yeah, compared with the classic IAM.
That's right.
Wonderful. So Jeff, I think you have a very successful career, and especially in cybersecurity, like in IT industry. Is there any most memorable moments you can share?
Well, I'm sure if you asked Ian, which is our senior director, he would probably say the moment that he recruited me and I started working at Royal Bank.
That's a really good choice.
Yes. But it's funny that you mentioned. I had a recent conversation with a colleague, and we were kind of reminiscing about Y2K. Yeah. That was kind of such a unique moment, right? Because a unique event, because it transcended both geographies, it transcended industries.
Exactly.
Right. So I was working for a software company at the time, right? And so the anxiousness, the build up to that, you
Yeah.
know, and if you can think of and imagine, you know, like hundreds of people crammed in this room,
Right.
everybody waiting for the midnight to come over, and
Right.
with nervous anticipation,
Right.
and then nothing.
That's a moment, right?
Nothing, right?
So
So it was,
clock is
we did get a
ticking.
call,
Yeah.
and everyone was obviously jumping for that call, but
Right.
it was not related. So it was
Okay.
I guess the lesson out of that is that, you know, that you can really prepare, and when you put the work in and prepare for it, you're kind of ready for any kind of situation
Right.
that may arise. And there was a lot of confidence, obviously, from us, or being able to meet any kind of demand, any kind of request that came in. Fortunately, we didn't need to use that, but
Mhm.
you know, I've kind of taken that on into my other roles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also the collaboration.
Absolutely.
Because so many teams need to work on the same goal. Right?
Absolutely, absolutely, yes. Right.
Probably that's a very few chances everybody will work on the same
Well,
goal.
and that
right?
was exactly that was the focus,
Yeah.
right? Typically, you have a lot of different kind of focuses, different
Right.
priorities for different groups, right?
Exactly.
But that was the one time where
Yeah.
the whole company was basically focused on that at
Yeah.
that moment, right? So that's a good point.
Wonderful. And so, Jeff, as we are from cyber tech and risk, so we have members care both cyber technology but also care cyber risk, especially how they work together. Do you have any like a thing you want to share with them?
Well, I would say that, you know, that we're in the midst of a significant, you know, digital transformation.
Okay.
right? With the sophistication of, you know, our automation, with sophistication of AI algorithms, and the growing mass of data that we can use that's available to be able to train that, right?
Right.
It's going to have, you know, a significant impact on the workforce that's supporting it.
Right.
Both in the skills that are required, right, and also the changing in the current, you know, roles that people are
Okay.
currently acting in, right? So you're going to be moving away from any kind of manual processes.
Mm.
Usually those human actors that are,
Right.
you know, enacting that, who are responsible for
Right.
that. So there'll be a big change with that, and it's already going.
Right.
So I guess my word of caution, or call to power, if you will, is that we need to kind of, you know, cascade that down to our schools, right? I know that there's a lot of
Earlier stage.
earlier stages.
Right.
You know, there's going to be advanced schooling that already are focused on that. But
Okay.
I'm talking about, you know, getting our kids who are in high school and such comfortable with the language,
Right.
comfortable with the domain,
Yeah.
right? And whether it be to, you know, learn how to train bots, train AI engines, you know, be able to test those, just be able to speak the language well as to be able to manage the groups that are kind of, you know, tasked with doing that.
Right. And get it prepared from early stage.
That's
That's
right.
the key.
That's right.
Wonderful. That's a great insight. Thank you very much,
Thank you,
Jeff.
Brian.
Very nice to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.